It's time for another edition of Live from Studio M on 105.5 Triple M. I'm your host, Jonathan Sutton. Today we'll introduce you to a singer-songwriter out of Michigan who may have originally dreamed of becoming a professional wrestler, but found music to be a better fit. He has worked with a band, but is now solo, although the name he uses sounds like a pretty big production. His real name is John B., but his music project is called American Opera. We'll chat with John, but first let's hear a song live from Studio M.
The demon on my shoulder tells me that it's almost over, lost and cannot be found. The angel whispers in my head to repent and be sincere, take my place in the clouds. But I know, you know, I won't tell the truth. So don't you bother waiting, there's no way you can save me. I'm telling you that it's no use. Dear brother, is it wise to ignore the whispers from the angels? There's still time to break through. So clean the spoons and knives before it's time to set the table. Company's coming soon. But I know you won't change anytime soon. So I'll pull up a chair and I'll watch you as you stare at the sun turning into the moon. Just when I thought that the sun was here to stay, the rain washed it away. 'Cause even stars, they fade away. Long live yesterday, just when I thought that the sun was here to stay. God took it away. 'Cause even stars, they fade away. Long live yesterday, just when I thought that the sun was here to stay. The rain washed it away. 'Cause even stars, they fade away. Long live yesterday, just when I thought that the sun was here to stay. God took it away. 'Cause even stars, they fade away. Long live yesterday, live yesterday. Long live yesterday, live yesterday. Long live yesterday, live yesterday.
It's American Opera. We'll chat with him next here live from Studio M on 105.5 Triple M. Thanks, commercial. We're back live from Studio M. Okay, so I don't know what to do. Should I call you John? Should I call you American Opera?
You should call me John, because my name's definitely not American Opera.
Okay, all right, but it's the project.
Yeah,
Just like Bon Iver.
Yeah, it's my one-man band.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so lots of things to cover, but right away we'll start with that song that you just played while trolling through your Twitter feed. I noticed, did someone really get a tattoo that said "Long Live Yesterday"?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I'm getting to a point now where people are tattooing my lyrics onto their body, and it makes me feel a little special and a little uncomfortable. So it's I mean, it's a huge honor. You know, I wrote those words down a couple years ago because you know I was feeling something and I wanted to get it out in a song. And then when people connect to that and so much
tattoo it on their bodies.
Yeah, that they want to put it on their body and have it be a part of them. That's one of the highest honors that I could ever receive. So when people connect to music, that's huge. But when they want to put it on their body, that's even bigger. You know?
Yeah. So did someone just come up and like show you, or?
Well, they sent that to me online, and I just played a show in Ohio, and she drove from Pittsburgh, and she showed me. It was pretty cool to see it in real life. But yeah, there's like 4 that I know of, tattoos that I know of floating around right now.
Not on the same person.
Nope, different person.
Okay.
Yeah.
If it was the same person, you might have to get a restraining order.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's cool. All right, so you start off. You're from Saginaw, Michigan.
That's true. I grew up in Saginaw, Michigan. And
So do the glove thing, just so everyone knows.
Oh yeah. Here it is.
Okay, great. Thank you.
And yeah, I lived in Chicago for a little while. Now I'm living in Brooklyn, New York.
Okay, so let's go back to growing up in Michigan.
Sure.
We were joking a little bit about being a wrestler, but kind of, was that sort of a dream really, or not really?
My manager tells me not to talk about this because I get too deep into it, but I love wrestling. I don't know why. It's my favorite. But when I was a kid, I was like, that's me. I'm going to be a wrestler. And then I realized I don't have the build for it yet. But if I get back to the gym,
Yeah.
there's no chance of me being a wrestler. But yeah, I fell in love with music after my brother started playing guitar, and I thought it was the coolest thing. He was playing along to Nirvana albums and Weezer albums, and I wanted to be like that.
Mm-hmm. Did he want to be a wrestler also?
No, he hated wrestling, just like everyone else in the world.
So I don't want to go down the wrestling rabbit hole here, but you were saying your manager gets mad. Do you sometimes bust out like into like intense conversation about WWE or whatever?
Yeah, or I'll play like a theme song, like one of the wrestling theme songs instead of my songs, and it's like, and maybe it's not the best choice.
Well, what's like now you?
You want me to play wrestling?
Kind of. I mean, you don't have to do a full one, but now I'm just curious. I don't know many. Do you guys know wrestling theme song?
No one does.
Okay.
Just me.
Okay. So these like for a particular wrestler, this is, or?
Yeah, like have you ever heard of Stone Cold Steve Austin?
Of course, sure.
Yeah, like the glass shatters. It's like, and it's like. Yeah.
Cool, man. All right. Don't worry, that does not count as one of your songs.
I was hoping it would.
All right, let's hear another song, then we'll get more into the whole American opera thing.
Sweet, thank you.
Okay. So what are you gonna play for us?
This one is called Sailor's Song.
Just sail the 7 seas, but I don't do that anymore. The shipmates that I call brothers abandoned this ship for some others. The skip like so still they had lain and left me here when I began. The skip like so still they had lain and left me here where I began. Oh, so sing this lovely sailor song. Oh, for one more chance to sail along. If you're an anchor, the soul of that sea where I belong. Ba 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 ba. When I was new, I tasted the breeze until I could take no more. I come and go as I please, as if the sea were an open door. And my bowels filled with water, all I've left is 2 broken oars. I can see when no one would bother to push me off from the shore. Skip like stones still lay it lane and left me here where I began. Oh, so sing this lovely sailor song. Oh, for one more chance to sail along. So as the water rise and fill my thighs with the tides like gold, feel the sky. Then I find a spot where I Whoa. Sees the seasons, raise the reasons like a flag. Please, oh please, take me back to what I have. I refuse to live my life like my former brothers. I refuse to live my life like early lovers. I refuse to live my life like my former brothers. I refuse to live my life like early lovers. So I sing this lonely sad song. And I hope for one more chance to sail. Oh, so I sing this lonely sad song. Oh, for one more chance to sail along. So watch the water rise and fill my sides with the tides like stars feel the sky. And I'll find a spot where I can lie on the ocean floor. With the soul and that sea where I belong. Break this bottle over my head, I will not rest till I am dead.
The American Opera at 105.5 Triple M. So songwriting like that song, is it a long process for you? Some people say the songs just come really quickly, but it takes a long time for them to come, or the song, like, you know, it takes a year to write a song. Tell me, is it both, or what happens?
Yeah, it's everything that you're just mentioning. Sometimes a song will just pour out and it's so simple and it's like, hurrah, maybe I have something. And then other times it's like, one song took me like 3 years, you know?
Wow.
And it's just, and that's not every song, obviously. The 3-year thing really made me mad at myself. But yeah, it's sometimes they pour out, and sometimes they take a little, you need to coax them out.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of personal experiences then? Or,
Definitely.
yeah.
Yeah, pretty much everything I write about is drawn from a personal experience, either like a family member or loved one or experience that I've lived through. But I did do an album based completely on stories of other people's lives. So I had fans like submit their stories, and then I wrote an album based on their stories. So that was pretty cool too.
Although that seems like you could get some really messed up stories, probably.
It was pretty wild. There was like some people were really spilling their guts, but it's a beautiful thing when you can share that with someone else, you know.
Sure. So go ahead.
Oh, it's just like I don't usually write love songs, and some people they wanted me to write love songs, so I wrote a couple songs, and they were like used for their wedding song. That was a huge honor.
Wow.
Yeah, and then other songs, they're about personal experience of losing someone, and so it's pretty intense. So people can share that.
Well, I was looking at of those 3 wedding songs, all 3 people have since gotten divorced.
Yes,
so.
that's true. That's because all the wedding songs I did were loosely based on that Stone Cold Steve Austin song I played.
So American Opera, you kind of came up with that name sort of through another song, or what was that?
Yeah, one of my favorite bands is called Cold War Kids. They're from California, and they've got a song that mentioned Italian opera, and I thought it just sounded awesome. So like any red-blooded American, I took it and Americanized it.
Yeah, change it around a little bit. And speaking of being very American, you've got the license plate that you used to kind of hold the tambourine there.
Yeah.
But it looks like, it says, I'm looking here, is it from 1969, that license plate?
Yeah, this is from one of my grandfather's cars. So he, back, now they just put, I don't know if in Wisconsin, but they put stickers.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what they do now.
Yeah.
Back in the day, they would have, you'd get a new one every day, or every year. I'm sorry.
Year, yeah.
You get a little excessive, you've got a new license plate every day.
Yeah. But so, I mean, would he care that you're pounding the crap out of it all the time, or it makes you think about him, or what? You know?
Well, I think he's happy to have it. You know, I think it's part of, like he played guitar, and you know now I'm carrying the legacy by smashing on his license plate and yelling at people.
All right, let's hear another song.
Sure.
What are you gonna do first?
This song's called "The Good Fight," and it's one of the songs that was on the album that I mentioned, where people submitted their own stories for me to write about.
So do you remember exactly who the person was for this one, or it's hard to remember?
I do remember.
Okay, so give us a little more background, can you? Or is it?
You'll hear it in the song.
All right, very good. It's American Opera live from Studio M.
Something's wrong, but she won't tell. She's in the corner, keeping to herself. She's gotta take it up with God before she shares anything with you. They found something wrong with the blood cells. Didn't come from God, it came from somebody else. Into the university for diagnosis and surgery. She's saying, don't you cry for me. I will soon be free from the hell that has tortured me. I will soon be free. She's getting worse, and she won't stop till all the doctors, nurses, clinics, churches, as far as the eyes can see, can put an end to her misery. She's got the sickness that's inside me, will not define me. Oh no, oh no, 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 no. She's saying don't for me. I will not define me, oh no. Oh no.
Definitely a moving song. I mean, did you have a lot of heavy stuff like that? Was it a husband sent it in, or?
It was actually a granddaughter to a grandmother. So
wow.
It was pretty heavy, but I mean, now we're close friends, and it's, you know, it's nice to have that connection with someone. And,
sure.
it's crazy how much that song will strike a chord with someone, you know, on a different part of the country, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Thank you so much.
That was really great.
Thank you.
All right, let's lighten it up a little bit.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's talk about wrestling.
So, gigs. So you were in a band before. What was it? Your best friend?
Yeah, we're called Your Best Friend.
Yeah. And so were there a lot of times, and now probably as a solo artist too, like weird gigs that you've done?
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we had an artist in here who said he literally the next day after visiting us here, and now it's slipping my mind who it was. It was actually Shaky Graves. That's who it was. And he was going to Minneapolis where a guy was going to propose to his girlfriend, and he wanted Shaky, I think it was Shaky, to come out of the closet in the hotel they were in and like be playing guitar.
Wow.
So I don't know what happened, because it was like the next day. But that's a pretty weird gig.
Yeah.
And other artists who have said they've played in a room for no one, those kind of things. Is there something that comes to mind for you, either with your band or solo?
Yeah, when you mentioned, I think Minneapolis, in my old band, I was playing a place called Big V's in St. Paul, and we were playing a show, and there was like no one there, but there was one guy who must have been like 65 years old, and he was digging it like way too much. He was up in our face like, and so I'm like, wow, like this guy, I'm gonna play for this guy because he's into it. So after the set, I like thank him. You know, it's hard to play for nobody, so thank you for bringing that energy. And he's kind of like looking at me funny, and he reaches into his pocket and he pulls out like 3 crumpled dollar bills, and he's not really talking to me. And I'm like, what's that? He's like, $3. And I'm like, yeah, what's that for? He's like, so you can beat my ass. And I'm like, what? Yeah.
Is this like some kind of fight club?
Yeah. I was like, are we fighting for the $3 that you own? The winner gets the $3? And because he loved me. And then he hated me.
Is that a real story?
That is true. Like, I still don't know what happened. I was so upset.
So did you just walk away?
No, like he wanted to fight. So like the guys in my band, they saw that like a very weird competition was about to go down.
So did you fight?
Definitely. No, I didn't. No, he would have beat me up.
I feel like it's kind of like in Happy Gilmore, which I never thought I'd reference in the studio, when Bob Barker and Adam Sandler get in a fight and Bob Barker kicks Adam Sandler's ass.
That dude definitely would have beat my ass, for sure.
Okay, well I'm glad you didn't do it. And then, and I don't know if this is true, that this was I noticed on your Twitter page you had, it was, you know, #HowIQuit, I guess was a trend one day. And you wrote, my boss kept me in the Chuck E. Cheese costume for over 2 hours, so I hid in the freezer and ate all of the cake and bacon bits.
You did some research.
So was that, Chuck E., did you work at it? Is that true?
That was like one of my first jobs, other than being like a Little League umpire or a paper boy. I worked at Chuck E. Cheese. I was Chuck E. Cheese.
Wow.
And I'm like a method actor, so I became Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah, sure.
Until the boss left me in there for over 2 hours.
Yeah.
And you get real sweaty. And there's all those bacon bits in the walk-in freezer, and there's all that cake. Why don't you just go in there and eat it? So that's what I did. Peace out, boss.
That was your last day?
Yeah.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. All right, well, this has been interesting. Great stories that you have, and really great music. So we do have time for one more. So what are we going to finish up with?
This one's called Bright Lights and Amplifiers. And thank you guys for having me, and thank you guys for being here. Playing music's my favorite thing, so the fact that you guys are listening means the world to me. So thank you so much.
Absolutely, John D. American Opera, live from Studio One.
I walk along a lonesome road. The only things that I've ever known is this old beat up 6-string in a blue Ford van and my rock band. I'm sorry could go and play the fool with my best friends. This life is my own. I throw a dart onto a map and then I make it my home. This life is my own. And I will dance and sing atop this globe. Father, forgive me for what I've done. I promise you one day light will shine from this sun. I know it makes you proud when this whole damn crowd sings my song. Mom and Dad, you give me places. It taught me how to be a man. But when I had children, I knew right by you and feeling God's grace. This life is my own. I threw a dart onto a map and then I make it my home. This life is my own. And I want it to sing a time is lonely. I'm not coming home. Bright lights in amplifiers are all I've ever known. I'm not coming home. Bright lights in amplifiers are all that I know. I'm not coming home. Bright lights in amplifiers are all I've ever known. I'm not coming home. And I will dance and sing a time this road.
So now it's enough for Jonathan live from the studio. Thank you so much. Thanks, Dean Brink, our engineer. I'm Jonathan Sutton. This is 105.5 Triple M.